In Invincible, after decapitating Thetis, Thrag is extremely pissed at the loss of his planet, Viltrum, and so his next move was to go after Mark. However, despite trying his best to fight off Thrag, Mark was simply too weakened to do anything at that point. It was then that Nolan joins the fight, telling Thrag that this war is over. However, Thrag wasn't going to give up this easily, telling Nolan that it was Thetis who murdered the previous emperor, ultimately sending the empire into a disarray. He also believed that it was him who was behind the Scourge virus, the viral infection which killed off 99.9% of the Viltrum population. This ultimately ended any hope in them finding a true heir to the previous emperor, Argal. However, after hearing this, Nolan wasn't going to nudge, as he was not the man he once was. At this point in time, he felt that the Viltrumites deserve nothing less than extinction for what they have done. This did not please Thrag, as he now promises to end Nolan's life. It was then that Battle Beast tried to intervene, but not even a second later he was just sent off flying onto space. Mark then asked his father how are they going to beat him, in which Nolan responds with, "We can't." From birth, Thrag was trained to be the strongest among all Viltrumites, while also being educated in all manners of combat. He wasn't someone who could be beaten by either Nolan or Mark. And Thrag's next course of action all but confirms that. So as Nolan is reaching closer to death, he tells Mark that no matter what he said in the past, he has always loved him. He once thought that this made him a weaker man, but now he understands that it only made him stronger. It was then that he attempts to pull Mark away from Thrag's grasp, giving him a chance to escape. However, Thrag proved to be much more faster than Mark, grabbing him once again and punching a hole through Nolan's stomach. And as he was about to crush Mark's head, ultimately ending both of their lives, Thrag stopped for a second to think. Looking back, the Viltrumites were already close to extinction. If he were to rebuild the empire, he would need as many Viltrumites to remain alive. So he decided to spare them, leaving them off to float into space.